I'm just getting so emotional, oh my gosh. Hi guys, it's Amanda, and today I'm doing the 20 questions mommy tag, and I was tagged by Lisa from Lisa Marie TTC, and if you haven't seen her channel, please go over and check it out. She is amazing. She has one of the most incredible infertility stories I have ever heard. She ended up getting an egg donor from a friend that she met through YouTube. It's really an amazing story. So she and I have become YouTube friends over the last year or so. Our daughters basically share a birthday, and we cloth diaper and all of that good stuff. So be sure to go on over and check out her channel. And look who I have with me. She's going to be helping me today. So there are obviously 20 questions because this is the 20 question mommy tag. So let's get started. Question number 1, are you a stay-at-home mom or a working mom? I am currently a stay-at-home mom. By trade, I am a massage therapist, and that is something that once my youngest is in school that I would really like to get going with again. And I guess if you count, you know, YouTube as being like a sort of very small side job. Basically, I am a stay-at-home mom, and I absolutely love it. Number 2, would you have it any other way? I would not. I have dreamed of being a mom my entire life. I remember when I was a little girl, all I wanted to play was house, and I loved my baby dolls. It was just always my dream. Even though it is a very tiring job at times, I would not have it any other way. I absolutely love being a stay-at-home mom and the place I'm at in life right now. Number 3, do you co-sleep? We do not. In baby's first couple months, I did this with her and with my son. We had the arm's reach co-sleeper. With my son, I had it right next to the bed, and with her I actually just used it as a little bassinet and had it on the other side of the room. So I guess in that sense we co-slept, but it's, you know, not in the same bed but right next to the bed. But we only do that for the first couple months. I actually only did it for the first month with her and moved her into the crib. And both of the kiddos are pretty darn good sleepers, and I found that at least with our experience with our kids, they actually end up sleeping a lot better. The earlier we put them into a crib in their own space, they end up sleeping through the night sooner that way, and that's why I actually ended up moving her into her own crib a little bit sooner than I did with my son, because it helped with the whole sleeping through the night process. At least that's how it was for us, and I know it's different, totally different. Every child is different, every parent philosophy is different, but that's what has worked for us. Number 4 is one must-have gear item for baby. That's a hard one to pick, but right now I'm going to say one of my carriers. The main carrier that I use is my Ergo, and I also have the Anya baby carrier, which I keep in our car and use when we're on the go. And I found, especially this time having a second child with an older toddler, I do a lot more baby wearing now than I used to, and it's just really, you know, essential sometimes, like, you know, when we want to go outside, or if baby is fussy and I need to attend to toddler. So for now, I'm going to say that's my one must-have item. Number 5 is, how many kids do you plan on having? Now, if you've been following my videos for a while, you know that we had a history with infertility, and we didn't even know if we were going to get one. And so we were perfectly content and happy with just having Alex, our first son. But, you know, through changing our diet and everything, we ended up completely turning around our problem, and I have videos all about that, so if you're interested in that story, I will link that down below. But we ended up getting pregnant after changing our diet right away. Like, we completely turned our problem around, and we did have 2 miscarriages. One was like a really early, like, chemical pregnancy, and then we had a miscarriage, and then right after that we got pregnant with this little girl. And she and my son, they're both such blessings, and we are entirely happy if they are the only ones we have. However, since I was an only child growing up, I always wanted to have a little bit of a bigger family. So we're still playing with the idea of trying to have a third. Maybe when she's like around 2, we might, you know, if we decide we want to have a third, we'll probably do it around then. But we'll probably stop after 3, just, you know, I remember before I had kids, I was like, I'm gonna have 4 kids, but now I'm like, reality of being a mom, like, I feel like having 3, I would have my hands very full, and I would be very satisfied with that. Number 6 is date night and how many times per month. And I will say, since she's been born, I don't think we've had a proper date night. I know, we're really bad. I mean, we've done like at home date night, like where we watch a movie together and eat, we eat dinner together a fair amount. But thankfully we have planned a double date night with a couple of our friends coming up this weekend and the following weekend after that. So we're actually getting our parents to watch the kiddos on those days, and I'm very excited to have a proper date with my husband and with our friends. So now that she's, our daughter's 8 months, I'm hoping to make that a bit more of a regular thing and making a point to, at least get out like at least once a month to like intentionally, be together and like go get some food or do something fun together. So that's the goal. Number 7 is your child's favorite show. Now this would apply mostly to my son Alex because he's 2.5 and he's the one that watches more TV than her. I mean, she watches whatever he's watching if it's on. But right now, he's gone through phases of different shows that he's really liked, but right now it's Little Einsteins. And I'm sure if those of you who have little kids are very familiar with Little Einsteins. I think it's a Disney Channel show, but it's actually really good. It's like teaching kids like classical music and classical art and that kind of thing with these little cartoon characters, and they go on these adventures and solve problems and whatnot. With music. My son is a musical little guy, so Little Einsteins is his favorite right now. All right, number 8, one thing that you bought before you had your baby and never ended up using. I ended up buying a ring sling. Actually, it was right after she was born, so it's not technically before, because I really wanted to like a ring sling. I just thought it looked so convenient. You just slide it on, slide baby in, and carry them on your hip. But I actually have some back issues, and I could never quite get it adjusted right so that it could be comfortable, and having all of the weight on one shoulder really made my back pain worse, and so I ended up never using it. Like I tried it on once or twice, maybe 3 times, and like tried to wear her around with it, and my back was just killing me. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to be a ring sling kind of person. So that's one item I never ended up using. Number 9, my child's favorite food. Well, with little Miss Sophie, she's eating just about every kind of food that we give her now. She is like not picky at all. It's amazing. She eats everything. She doesn't seem to even have preferences. She just loves whatever we feed her. She loves all food. She's a little foodie. Alex, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. He's 2.5 and going through a very strong-willed picky phase. Thankfully, the few things that he wants to eat all the time are healthy things. Since we started him off on healthy things, like those are the things he's familiar with and those are the only things he wants to eat. And we are going through a transition of saying, this is what we're feeding you. If you don't want it, then you don't have to eat. That's okay. It will be here waiting for you. But if he had it his way, he would eat Dubliner cheese all day. That's what he would eat. It's that Irish grass-fed cheese, and you can get a big old brick of it at Costco, and I love it too. It's good cheese. And there are a few other things that he likes as well, but I'd probably say that the cheese is his favorite. Number 10, how many cars does your family have? We have one main family car, and that's the one we used. We have a Mazda 5, and I actually did a review on it. Absolutely love it as a family car. I'll link that down below too if you're interested in a like smaller family car. So that's our main family car. Bill drives my old car, which is a little Honda Civic. Since we just bought our family car last year, we still actually haven't gotten rid of his really old beater car, which was the car that he's driven since I met him. And it's also a little like red Honda Civic. Really, it's like a 1995 red Honda Civic. And it's definitely a beater now, and it's still sitting in our driveway. I think we're going to try and donate it to, I think it's like PBS, I think it accepts them, and you can do like a tax deduction on them and everything. Because I'm not sure if we can even sell it at this point. It's definitely on its way out. So hopefully we'll be getting rid of that one soon. Then we also have a really old pickup truck that is actually kind of parked way back on the side of our house, and the only reason we keep that one is because it has 4-wheel drive, and on the like 3 days that it snows here in Western Washington, it's really nice to have a vehicle with 4-wheel drive. And when you put chains on that thing, I mean, you can like drive straight up a mountain. It's a monster. And we also like to actually use it for when we need to haul things. For obvious reasons, when you're moving or when you have a friend that's moving, or if you are buying a piece of furniture or whatever it is, you know, taking a load to the dump, it's really nice to have a pickup truck. So we do have that one, but we only drive it like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 times a year. So most of the time we actually keep the battery disconnected. Technically, embarrassingly, we have 4 cars right now, but hopefully we will soon have 3, but mainly we just drive 2. 11, weight gain before pregnancy, during and after, and now. Well, if you just watched my postpartum video, you would know all about that. I gain a lot of weight in my pregnancies, and it's just the way my body is. I always gain a little over 50 pounds. I gained 55 with my son Alex and 53 with her. And that's even with being very careful with my diet and being, you know, moderately active. And, you know, I wasn't running through my pregnancies or anything, but, you know, walking a fair amount. And I just retain a ton of water, and I just gain a lot of weight. So after the first pregnancy, I got back down to 15 pounds above my pre-pregnancy weight, and then gained another 5 right before I got pregnant with her. And then I gained 53, and now I am down 40 pounds from that weight. So if you do the math for all of that, I am 33 pounds over my pre-Alex weight, and he's my first one. That's what she has to say about it. I am still working on losing that 30 pounds. Even if I lost just 20 more pounds, I'd be happy in that range. So that's where I'm at on that journey right now. Number 12 is dream vacation with your kiddos. I've had a couple globetrotting experiences in my, you know, early 20s and as a kid. I went to Europe when I was 10 with my family, and I went again when I was 15 with a school group. We went to Spain and France. And when I was 21, I went to China with my family. You know, as a kid, we drove all over the United States with road trips. I got a little miss blowing raspberries here. I'm blowing raspberries with the camera. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so because I've had those international experiences, I really want to see more of the world, and I'd really love for my kids to have that international experience as well. However, this is not going to be for at least another decade because we're in the phase now with traveling with very small children. And I know that some people do it all the time, and like I bow down to you people who do that. But like even just going on a weekend trip just seems like such a stressful ordeal. It's like not even that enjoyable a lot of the time, just because it's so much work with the kids, and our son has a hard time with being away from his familiar surroundings when it comes to sleep. So anyway, I think it'll have to be, you know, when our kids are much older, like when they're like, you know, maybe late elementary school, middle school, high school age. I'm hoping that we can do some international family trips. I don't even care where it is. I would love to see South America maybe next. I would love to go back to Europe. Love to see Africa. Who knows, maybe we'll do like a family mission trip or something. That and just doing road trips with our kids like I did as a kid, just seeing all the like national parks and see all the beautiful scenery that's in like the Western United States. Would love to do that with the kids when they're older as well. Number 13 is dream vacation without the kiddos. When Bill and I got married, we went to Jamaica, and that was such a wonderful romantic trip, and we saw, oh my gosh, it was just so cool. We saw the jungle, we spent time on the beaches, we went snorkeling, like it was just, and it was such a cool cultural experience too. So you know, if down the road we have a chance, Bill and I have a chance to just go on a trip, him and I, you know, beyond just little local trips, which we will probably do. But I think it would be really nice to go somewhere tropical again. Maybe even like Hawaii. We've been to the Big Island together, but I would love to see maybe Kauai. That would be really cool. Or Maui. Or maybe even just doing like a Caribbean cruise or something like that. So that would be dream vacation. Number 14 is, how has your life changed since your baby has been born? It has completely changed for the better. Even though it is a challenge, a lot of the time it is hard work. I would not have it any other way. I would say that specifically like how our lives have changed. We obviously don't you know, you can't just like go out and do what you want to do in your own time anymore. You can't just pop out to the grocery store anymore, you know, that kind of thing. And so, you know, logistically things are obviously much more challenging than they used to be. But in a positive way, like our kids have just enriched our lives so much. Like I'm getting teary just thinking about it, but I just love my kids so much, and they have just added this whole new dimension to our lives. And I mean, you hear parents talk about this, how when you have kids, you kind of relive your childhood again and kind of like see the world through their eyes again, because everything is so new and everything is so exciting, and you know, this big world to them. And it's just so cool to like re-experience that and relive that. I'm just getting so emotional, oh my gosh. But before I had kids, I did not know the depth of love that a person can experience. And like obviously, like I have a very deep love for my family, I have a very deep love for my husband, but the kind of love that you have for your kids is, I mean, you only know, I mean, those of you mamas know what I'm talking about. It's like a love like no other. It's just a very unique variety of love, and that just enriches our lives so much. We just love our kids so much. Because of that, it's like filled this void in our lives, and it just feels like our lives are complete now. And so very positive change in that way. Number 15 is finish the sentence. It makes my heart melt to see. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to say the same thing that Lisa said, is just watching my husband with my kids. It's really cool to just see that side of him, just this very tender side. He's just so good with them. It's just so sweet. Like whenever he gets home from work at night, like Alex screams with delight. Like he just screams and he jumps up and down. He's just so excited to see his daddy, and you can just see that in Bill's eyes too, that he loves it so much. Just seeing that warms my heart, just how much my kids love him, and just seeing that side of that tender side of him being affectionate with them, him playing with them, you know, he comes up with all these little nicknames for them. He's just so good with them, and it warms my heart. It really does. Number 16, where do you shop for your kids? If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I like to buy almost everything used. Almost, not everything, but almost every child item we have is used. And I either get hand-me-downs from friends with clothes, toys, books, or I like to buy things at our favorite consignment shop. There is a children's consignment shop that's not too far from us, and it's like a super consignment shop, and I absolutely love it. I have gotten some amazing finds there. Bill and I call each other cheap and cheaper, and so it's like especially with kids, we just can't bring ourselves to pay full price for something that kids are just going to outgrow, or, you know, it'd be a phase that they just use a toy for a short amount of time and then they're done, you know. Not worth paying full price. So I do most of our shopping at the consignment shop, or try to find hand-me-downs and that kind of thing. Number 17 is favorite mommy makeup and skincare products. Honestly, it's like whatever I find at the drugstore, or I have an aunt who goes to Clinique a lot, and she gives me all of her freebies, and honestly I use a lot of that stuff. There's like some really good eyeshadows in there, and like the little mascaras, and I just use whatever's available to me for cheap. I have started wearing my hair naturally curly a little more lately, and I talk about all the products and everything I use for that. I'll link that video down below as well. Number 18 is Huggies diaper jeans, yay or nay? We use mostly cloth diapers, so I'm going to say nay on that. I mean, I guess they're kind of cute if you are using disposables, but honestly, like cloth diaper covers, or whatever kind of cloth diaper you may use, they're much, much cuter than any disposable I've ever seen. So that will be my answer for that. Number 19, have you always wanted kids? Yes, I talked about that earlier. Always wanted kids since I was a little kid myself. It has always been my goal and my purpose in life. And 20, best part about being a mom. I think I answered that earlier in just saying that, you know, the whole love aspect, and that experiencing that kind of love that you never even thought possible before. So anyway, so that is it for the 20 questions mommy tag. So I would like to tag Lauren from Yay Lauren, and Ashley from Semi Crunchy Mama. I know Ashley, you're very busy right now, but only if you have time. And Emily from Matt and M, And Jamie from Jalen Mama, I don't know if you're watching this or not, but if you are, would love to see your responses as well. So anyway, if you are new to my channel, welcome, and don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more videos and get a little notification whenever I put up a new video. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye guys. This diet, it has done amazing things for us. It has healed major health problems, fertility, autoimmune, IBS. It almost completely healed.